African teams should play other African nations for friendly matches, to prepare for the World Cup. Um, and I say this because I believe, African teams are good preparation for Senegal, Cameroon, and Ghana. Um, African teams are very physical. They're very fast. And a lot of African teams nowadays, they have improved defensively. A lot of African teams are have more technical and tactical, compact defense than of past generations. You know, so African football is very competitive, and the in African football, there's not a large difference between the lower ranked African teams and the quote unquote more talented, bigger African teams. The gap between the bigger and smaller teams in Africa isn't so much. So African football is very competitive, and we saw this high level of competitiveness at the last African Cup of Nations. This past 2022 African Cup of Nations was very competitive. A lot of the games were close. You saw a lot of the games where there'll be like a 1-0 win. There's always a slim goal margin when African teams play against each other. Like African teams usually win like 1-0 or 2-1. Only one goal up. And that's because African football is very competitive, and a lot of these African teams are equally skilled. And I believe Ghana, Cameroon, and Senegal will have great practice to prepare for the World Cup against other African nations. Like I was talking about earlier, even though, let me start it off. To properly prepare for the World Cup, you don't want to play for friendly matches to prepare for the World Cup. You don't want to play against the most compact and technical defenses. You don't, because you want to be able to train your offense. How can your offense be properly trained when your friendly matches are against technical and tactical defenses who are so compact that they don't even let you get a proper ball flow? A lot of teams, the most tactical defenses in today's age are very compact in the last final third in front of goal, and they won't just let you swarm in that final third because they're so compact and technical, and they know how to attack the ball from you, and so you're not really moving or getting as much ball flow as you can against those types of defenses. But with African teams, they should practice on their offense, their attack. African football is traditionally attack oriented, and African teams need to be put against mid-tier defenses who are not the most tactical, but a decent amount of tactical ability on defense, and who are not the most compact on defense, but compact enough and tactical enough on defense. Perfect team defense that I'm referring to is like a defense like Nigeria. Nigeria defense has great one-on-one defense, but they're not the most compact and organized. That's the type of defense, that Senegal needs to play against to prepare for the World Cup. So, that'll be good training for the offense to make some noise, and have some confidence, and move that ball in the final third, because, against Nigeria, Senegal can move that ball in the final third because Nigeria isn't the most compact in the back defensively. So Nigeria leaves gaps in the back for Senegal to penetrate, and that allows Senegal to practice their offensive know-how. Against teams, probably won't dominate ball possession against, the European and South American teams. European teams and South American teams traditionally are a little bit more technical and tactically skilled than African teams, and that allows, European teams and South American teams to have the better ability to keep ball possession. So against African teams, European, South American nations in the World Cup will dominate ball possession because they're more technically skilled. So since African teams will have the ball less, they have to maximize their scoring opportunities since they have the ball less, So African teams, since they will have the ball less, they'll have to run more attacks, increase their probability of scoring by counterattacking. So against a team that's less compact defensively, Senegal has more room to practice their counterattacks and score, because the defense isn't as technical and compact. It's easier to attack. Against defenses that are less organized and compact. It just is. So those are the type of teams Senegal needs to practice their offense against. It's not only Senegal, it's all the African teams in the World Cup, including Cameroon and Ghana. And, if African teams, Senegal, Cameroon, and Ghana, can have success in these friendly matches against these mid-tier defenses that are not extremely technical, but they're technical enough on defense, mid-tier defenses, physical African teams, can prepare Senegal, Cameroon, and Ghana for the World Cup, This would be nice for African teams, Senegal, Cameroon, and Ghana, to practice and have friendly matches, against other African teams, because, we African teams need to bring that same African physicality to the World Cup. European teams and South American teams, they are less physical, you know, and the African physicality can give European and South American teams some problem in the World Cup. It can, definitely can, because European teams are not used to playing against physical, unorthodox teams, and another thing that's beneficial for African teams, the African teams of the World Cup, of specifically Senegal, Cameroon, and Ghana. Another reason why they should play against friendly matches against other African teams to prepare for the World Cup is so they can keep that African flow and offensive, pace of the game. The African style of offense is different than European, style of offense. Africans have a different passing pattern. African players don't pass the ball as much in angles. African passing is less angular. An African attack is more about just the smooth flow. There's no angular attacks. It's just a different attack than the European style of play. And Africans, like I said earlier, pass the ball differently. So offensively, African football is a little different from European football. And that unorthodox African style can potentially give European and South American teams a problem because, they're just not familiar with it. So we African style of play, is unique, and playing Senegal, Cameroon, and Ghana, playing against other African nations can perfect that style of play, that unique style of play of African style of football, to bring that to the World Cup and give the European and South American teams, a high level of play that is unorthodox and that European and South American teams aren't used to, and yeah, that's why African teams in the World Cup, so Senegal, Cameroon, and Ghana should play their friendly matches to prepare for the World Cup against other African nations. All right, you guys, peace.